Today we're going to be testing the Garden Trax earth auger. Or maybe the earth auger is going to be testing me. Let's put this thing to work. So as you can see, this earth auger is pretty impressive. It is the 43cc two-stroke model from Garden Trax. Garden Trax sent this over to me, seeing if I would test it out here on the farm. And I have miles and miles of fencing, so there's always something that needs repaired. As you can see, this machine is anything but new anymore, and that's because for the last month or two, I've been putting this thing through the paces, wearing off the paint on the auger, and chewing a bunch of holes in the ground. I feel like I gave this a fair shake. I have a good testing ground here. I graze my cattle out on pasture, so I have miles and miles of fencing. And after years and sometimes decades, the post can rot off, usually right at the ground, or sometimes the cattle can be rough on the post and break them off. The typical protocol is I come and pound in a temporary T-post right where the post broke, just to keep the fence up and operating, and then come back at a later time with my 3-point auger to drill new holes and put new posts in. Now, hooking up a 3-point auger onto the back of my tractor by myself is quite a chore, and it rarely gets done. So having a portable gas-powered auger has made all the difference, because I'm more apt just to grab this and go and make the repair instead of doing something temporary that I have to ultimately come back and fix again. Now, I'll admit I was a bit skeptical whether this 43cc engine was able to power that 8-inch auger, but even in my limestone and clay soil here in Pennsylvania, well, they don't call it Rocksylvania for nothing, this did quite the job. I got 3 to 4 feet in usually less than a minute's time. Now, they make many different size augers. Again, that's an 8-inch auger. This is a 4-inch auger. They make anything from a 1-inch auger up to a 12-inch auger. They have replaceable tips here on the auger, and it also has replaceable cutting blades. So as you're hitting rocks, and eventually this is a wear part, you can replace this cutting edge or at least dress it up and sharpen that again. And again, these tips come out and can be replaceable if there's damage or if it gets wore out. So I was pleased to see that they have replaceable parts and it's not just a throwaway machine. So I wanted to wrap this up with some of my final thoughts. I had quite a backup of broken post here that I've been putting off for quite some time. So I've done over 15 holes in the past month with this machine. Although the auger doesn't look new anymore, I'm impressed it has those replaceable parts that you can either maintain it and sharpen it back up, or else buy replacements and keep your machine operating like new. Another positive is it's extremely easy to start and it has plenty of power. Another positive is this coil spring built right into the shaft. That takes some of the shock out of the machine if you would hit something hard, a rock, or if you're digging really hard. That helps reduce some of the vibrations, and again, takes that initial shock when you hit something, and yet it's extremely strong and durable. So are there any negatives to this? Well, this is an extremely powerful motor, and you must have a strong grip on this unit. If you're digging and you hit something hard like a rock, it can try and rip out of your hands, or worse yet, try and send you around in a circle. So obviously you're not going to be having young adults or children run this machine. And in fact, you must be a pretty capable adult to hold on to this and have strength to operate it, especially in really hard digging conditions. So whether you're putting in fence posts like me, or you're drilling holes for a deck or around the house or your garden, just keep in mind it does take some effort to keep a hold of that and keep a steady grip so that you can dig properly and without hurting yourself. So as you saw, I'm quite impressed, and this unit has worked flawlessly for me. I'm going to be placing a couple of links down in the description. The first one is for a store locator for Bomgarrs. Bomgarrs is running the largest sale of the season on these Garden Trax earth augers. So I put a store locator link down in my description. You can check out where the nearest Bomgarrs is to you and go in store for the largest savings of the season on these Garden Trax earth augers. I also placed a link to Garden Trax website down there if you don't have a store close close to you, you can simply go on their website and check out these Garden Trax earth augers. They have many different size augers available, again from 1 inch all the way up to 12 inch. So that's all listed there on Garden Trax website. If you have any comments or questions, I'd love to hear from you. Maybe something that I didn't cover but you were curious about, please leave your questions down in the comments section. Maybe you had an experience with an auger like this or maybe something similar. I'd love to hear from you. Again, all questions and comments are welcome, and I try and get back to each and every one of you. I also want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.